What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, man, I got a very special build in store for y'all today. Now, this one, I'm gonna be calling it the Isolation King, and this is actually to come out to an inside out playmaker build. Now, this is absolutely the best ISO point guard build to make this year at the height of 6'3", and out of all NBA players, it's going to be reminding me of Damian Lillard. Now, on top of that, when it comes to our attributes, we're going to be able to get a 99 plus put towards our driving dunk, 3-point shot, pass accuracy, ball handle, speed with the ball, and stamina. Now, as far as for animations, we're also going to be able to get the upgraded layup animations with the pro dribble moves and contact dunks. Now, getting into the badges, we'll be able to get 6 Hall of Fame, 16 gold, 18 silver, with 8 bronze, one of those being limitless range. Now, for the Hall of Fame, my favorites were going to be handles for days, speed booster, hyperdrive, as well as ankle breaker. Now, honestly, this is the best all-around point guard build that I've seen. Another great isolation build, and it's really overpowered because of the contact dunks. Now, this build is definitely going to be able to shoot from deep, y'all. I'm telling you, when it comes to the defense, it's very strong as well. So before we get any further into today's video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So let's go ahead and leave this build under the PG position. Go ahead and leave it also at the height of 6'3". Getting into the weight, go with 175. Now, as for the wingspan, I'm going to raise this a few ticks to 7 feet, and this is what we should be looking like moving forward into today's build. Now, the first area that I'm going to get into is going to be the physicals. So as for our speed, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 92. As for when it comes to the acceleration, I'm going to leave this at a 77, go with a 42 strength. As for the vertical, I'm going to go with a 75 for those contact dunks with a 99 stamina. Now, if you want to, really take into consideration the +4 that you get from the Gatorade workouts. So we're going to be able to get a 96 speed, 81 acceleration, 46 strength, 79 vertical with a 100 plus stamina. Now, this is probably my favorite thing about this build. As far as when it comes to the defensive end, let's go ahead and check it out. So for this interior, I'm definitely going to make sure that I raise this to a 61. As for the perimeter, I'm going to leave this at a 65. With our steal being brought down, we're going to leave it like this, and I'm telling y'all, this is really going to set you apart from most builds because we're going to have a 68 block. Now, you'll be able to equip chase down artists on the bronze tier, and then for the defensive rebound, I'm going to go with a 60. Once we complete every single attribute and max the build out to 99 overall, I'll get back into the badges. So when it comes to the pass accuracy, I'm going to put this all the way up to an 87. Getting into the ball handle, I'm going to go with a 95. Now, this allows you to get every single dribble animation and package that you can want. As for the speed with ball, I'm going to go with a 91. And right here, as you can see, we do get a good amount of badges on each and every area of the build so far. So as for when it comes to our shooting, on the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with a 73. Personally, I found this perfect for my own liking. As for when it comes to our 3-point shot, I'm going to put this all the way up to an 88. Now, that is going to allow us to get the limitless range badge on the bronze tier. Moving into the free throw, I'm going to go with a 71. And obviously, we're going to be able to get the badge free points on bronze. Now, I think we're off to a pretty good start for today's build. Let me know what you think so far down below in the comments. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, the last area that I'm going to touch on is going to be the finishing. So getting into the driving dunk, make sure you go with an 87. Now right here, we have a few remaining leftover attributes. You can go ahead and put this into the standing dunk. Well, I think it's going to be best, put the rest into the free throw, and you'll be able to make a few different changes towards this build, but I promise you all around, I think this is going to be the absolute best way that you can go about today's build. So starting from the top down, the badges that I like are going to be Gold Giant Slayer. You also do get Pro Touch. Whistle, I think it's definitely an overpowered badge if you know how to time and get your opponents to jump. Now for this area on the driving layup, I also do like Slithery with Acrobat. You'll be able to equip Float Game on Silver as well. Scooper, Aerial Wizard with Hall of Fame Spin Cycle and 2-Step. Now getting into the driving dunk, as you can see we get Silver Posterizer for this build with Precision Dunker. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. On the mid-range, I do like Blinders. You'll also be able to get Deadeye and Catch and Shoot. Space Creator on Gold, I think it's pretty overpowered with Silver Mini Magician and Gold Open Looks. Now for the 3-point shot, I'm pretty much sure that I made clear Limitless Range is the main reason why I did go with an 88 rating. So as you can see for the rest of the badges, Agent 3 on the silver tier, I think it's definitely effective. For the rest of this build on the shooting end, I think Open Looks is another really good badge that anybody would consider. So I did want to make sure that for the free throw, I'm getting at least 3 points on the bronze tier. As for the pass accuracy, as you can see we get bronze bailout. You'll also be able to get special delivery, break starter, and then even you get relay passer. Now as for the ball handle, look, we get silver blow by, gold handles for days with killer combos, Hall of Fame speed booster, unpluckable on gold is definitely clutch, and then triple strike. For the speed with the ball, as you can see, this build pretty much all around for the offensive end, I would consider it to be a demigod. Now it reminds me of a few different NBA players, of course Damian Lillard, but there's also Stephen Curry, a little bit of Trae Young. Now for the defensive end, I think these numbers are solid. You're going to be able to guard pretty much a little bit of any build. Whoever you're going up against, whether it's a smaller or taller build, I think the interior and perimeter defense work hand in hand with each other and are really balanced. Now I did want to make sure that we're at least getting the badge Chase Down Artist on bronze. Now if you add everything up with equipping and activating your takeover, that's at least a +10. On top of that, if you buy your own boost, that's another +4. Wearing gear, and then also we get a minor boost from playing well throughout each game, and I think that's really going to allow this build to be one of the best all around point guards for any team. Now let's go ahead and move forward with today's build, and to make sure that everybody made it correctly, we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons, and as y'all can see, we have created the first and best Isolation King inside out playmaker build in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now I love the comparison of Damian Lillard as number 1. We also get Tyrese Maxey and Kenny Smith Jr. Also, I want to say thank y'all for the support. Now I had everything up that I previously mentioned about boost and getting your takeover, and I think you're in set and store for one of the best possible guards to make this year. Now before we get out of here, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.